Reform.
Okay.
Here you can take a look at it. It has all the signatures. It has comments from people themselves, and we're also here to share some stories with you guys.
Okay.
¿Quieren ir primero? I'll be a translator.
Okay.
Excellent.
Diana, ¿quieres ir
Sí,
primero?
está bien.
Okay.
La razón por la que estamos aquí es porque queremos que se haga una reforma migratoria.
The reason why she's here today is because they want an immigration reform.
Porque creemos que la merecemos, no somos criminales, somos personas de bien que amamos este país, al igual que lo aman ustedes también.
She said we're here and we're good people, we're not criminals, we love this country and we want to be part of it.
Para mí es muy importante porque tengo 2 hijos ciudadanos de este país y quiero permanecer con ellos, quiero estar con ellos, no quiero que mi familia se separe, que se quiebre. Ya tuve la experiencia, ya lo viví. Mi esposo estaba arreglando por parte de su papá, que es ciudadano americano, y por a causa del sistema que está un poco quebrado, no ha podido hacerse residente todavía aún. Estuvo 1 año sin permiso de trabajo.
She said that to her it's very important because she has 2 U.S. citizen children, and this is such a big thing for her because she doesn't want her family to be separated. She's already had an experience where her husband has tried to become a resident and he hasn't been able to. He was only able to get a work permit for a year.
Fue detenido por un sheriff y de ahí lo pasaron a custodia de inmigración.
He was detained by a sheriff and then he was taken to custody by immigration.
Para mí y para mis hijos fue algo muy traumático porque sentíamos que lo íbamos a perder.
For her and her children, it was something very traumatic because they felt like they were going to lose him.
Cuando él me habla que está detenido y que tengo que pagar $10,000 o él se va para México.
He called and he said that they had to pay $10,000 or he would be deported.
Yo me pregunté, ¿la unidad de mi familia vale $10,000? No.
She questioned herself and said, the value of my family is $10,000. No.
Yo le decía, ¿por qué? Si tú tienes tu familia aquí, tus hermanos son ciudadanos, tu papá es ciudadano americano, ¿por qué no te puedes quedar? ¿Por qué no te pueden dar una oportunidad?
She asked him and she said, your entire family's here, your brothers, your parents, why can't you stay here and become a resident?
Ahorita, gracias a Dios que él tiene su permiso de trabajo para atrás.
Right now, thank God that he got back his work permit.
Pero estamos en enero, vamos a mirar un juez y el juez va a determinar si lo va a dejar aquí en este país o lo va.
In January, they're going to go in front of a judge and he's going to determine if he gets to stay or not.
Y todo fue un proceso muy difícil porque a partir de eso se vinieron situaciones económicas muy difíciles. Después de él tener un trabajo muy bueno, perdió el trabajo por no estar al corriente con sus papeles. Y tuvimos muchos problemas económicos. Ahorita recientemente ya le acaban de dar su trabajo en la base aérea que está en Yuma.
Uh-huh.
Y él se siente muy orgulloso, muy entusiasmado de poder entrar a trabajar ahí.
Uh-huh.
Y él lo único que pide es que nos lo dejen aquí, que queremos seguir aquí en este país luchando porque lo amamos, porque es nuestro ya y porque nuestros hijos están aquí y nuestra vida está aquí.
Uh-huh. She said that when this happened, they faced a really bad economic situation. He went from having a really good job and then he lost it. And now he's working at the aerial base in Yuma and he's very proud of that. He's so proud to say that he's there working for his family and they love this country and it's part of them and they don't want to have to leave because of a broken immigration system.
What was the reason he was originally denied?
¿Cuál fue la razón por qué
The system
originalmente
failed.
le hicieron el denial?
No, porque cumplió la mayoría de edad y porque
Ah,
pasó mucho
turned
tiempo.
21. The father is a citizen.
Yeah.
I'd like to just listen to them all, and then we'll be able just to pass that along
Okay.
for sure.
Okay. ¿Quieres decir más?
No, pues estoy aquí y quiero seguir luchando porque se haga una reforma migratoria porque no soy criminal y quiero hacer las cosas bien y quiero quedarme aquí.
Uh-huh.
Quiero obedecer las leyes y estar aquí.
She said she just wants to stay here because she's going to keep fighting for immigration reform. She's not a criminal and she loves this country and she wants to be part of it and contribute.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much for coming in and sharing that story with us.
Dijo gracias por compartir con nosotros. Joel, do you want to go now?
Yeah, I'll share my story.
Okay.
Like I said, my name is Joel Parker. I've lived in this district most of my life. I'm a registered voter. I've lived here with my mother and two older brothers. And for a long time I didn't realize how fortunate I am to be an American citizen and have the rights and have the opportunity that I did. However, after I watched Belen work hard, earn a 2-year scholarship, with the dream of owning her own business, just to have it stripped from her hands due to her legal status, I realized how lucky I am. After I watched Belen's mother, who was an intelligent woman with an intuitiveness for American politics and American history, unlike anybody I've ever seen, being forced to work many hours in a minimum wage job that she does not like, just to make ends meet, I realized how fortunate I was. After I watched Belen and her family, who came to the United States just because America is the land of opportunity, only to be forced into the shadows due to a broken immigration system, I realized that I needed to step up and be a voice for those who didn't have one. Over the past year, I've had a chance to meet some of the faces to the 11 million undocumented immigrants. The stories that you are going to hear today, for every one of them that you hear, there's at least 1,000 others similar to it. These people are not criminals. They came here to live the American dream. James Truslow Adams wrote a book called The Epic of America, which was written in 1931, and stated that the American dream is that dream of a land in which life should be better and richer and fuller for everyone, with opportunity for each according to their ability or achievement. Every day we banish people from this country who came here just in pursuit of that dream. Why is it when our country is so far in debt, we deport 1,100 people a day when it costs $12,500 to deport a single person, which is $13,750,000 a day, committed to exiling people from this country when most of them have not even committed a crime. I hope that Representative Gosar will make a push for an immigration reform, because it's not just a push to change the lives of 11 million people and the lives of 5 million U.S. children whose parents are undocumented, but it is a push to protect the American dream. Thank you.
Thanks, Joel. Well said.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to share my story now. I started this petition on my own individually. I didn't have any organization behind me. I did get signatures from people who were part of an organization, but the reason why I started this is because it's so important to me for an immigration reform to pass, and I'm not going to give up. I know that Representative Paul Gosar hasn't been an exact target, but I do live in his district, and to me that's really important.
Where do you live?
I live down the street in Rancho Bella Vista, across from Fry's.
Okay.
So
Did you get these here locally, or have you gone all around the
it
state?
was on the
or
internet,
where?
and anyone could sign from it. There's a lot
So
of
these are
people.
nationwide.
And there's a lot of people from his district, actually most, who have signed. I was brought here when I was 6 years old on a visitor's visa from Argentina. And I actually went, when I moved here, I went to Florence High School. I did everything right. I joined sports. I got good grades. I was in AP classes. And I got many scholarships that I couldn't accept. I couldn't pay in-state tuition. I couldn't have a driver's license. And this was my home. This is the place where I grew up. Everybody else was getting their license and having a life, and I felt like I wasn't normal. I felt like things weren't right for me. And my life all changed when I got deferred action. And I've gotten a lot of good things out of it. I've been able to go to college at a community college, Chandler Gilbert Community College. I've gotten a good job at an immigration lawyer's office. But I started to realize that deferred action doesn't help my family. And without my family, I wouldn't be able to be here. I wouldn't have support. I wouldn't have anywhere to live. And to me, that's the most important thing, to have my family, not to have the fear of the next day having them be gone because of a broken immigration system. And just like me, I'm not the only one. There's thousands of students who are sitting in school and not knowing what's going to happen next, what they're going to be able to do. And as an undocumented American, I want Paul Gosar to know, and I want you guys to pass along the message that he needs to support this. He needs to see that there are thousands and millions of students and families, and we need to stay together. We're here to contribute. We're not here to be criminals or to steal or to do anything like that.
Sure.
We're all good people.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my story. My name is Rocio, and I'm a member of an organization called Arizona Original Dreamers, which is
Original
helping-
Dreamers?
Original
Cool.
Dreamers.
Okay.
And which is vision is to help students like her, like to qualify for the DACA and stuff like that, and to stop helping stop deportations, like by signatures or whatever. But my life, I can tell you that I came here when I was 15 years old, and I was in high school then. But for the reason that I was 32 by the time that the
Deferred action.
deferred action came up, I didn't qualify for it, so I'm out. So now that's why I'm here, because I would like to ask what's it
Paul
called?
Gosar.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
To pass immigration reform. It's so hard to be like that because we've been losing too much opportunities. I've been working all the time because I couldn't study because I have 2 babies now. Well, that's not a very reason, but I have 2 kids, and they were born here too, and I have a beautiful family which live here, and we consider this our home. But right now, the main reason why I'm involved in this, that opened my eyes to this, is that because my mom, it's gonna be a year in January that she was about to be deported. Now it's she thank God she got a permit to stay here. She wasn't deported, but she was already like on the way to be deported, like
On the bus.
on the bus. So that.
And what stopped that? What permit did she get, or what?
She
what changed?
she was able to get a permit to work, to stay 1 year here, but in January she's gonna have to go back again and see what they're gonna tell her, if she stays or she leaves. And she's a good woman. She's fighting like for us. She's a single mother of 5 of us, and she doesn't do any damages here, or she's been just working and fighting for us. That's all she's been doing, and all she wants is to get a good job, and like, we're not criminals. We haven't done any bad things in here. So that's why I'm here today, because my mom is we don't know if she's gonna be deported. So they're right now in DC, they're fighting for that too. So that's the reason I'm here, for her and for 11 million people that need immigration reform.
Yes.
So if you can please give a message to Paul, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your story.
Would you
I'm
like
sorry
to say
about my English, it's not really good,
It
but
was-
I'll try.
Go ahead.
It's great.
I think I've already met you before. My name's Michael Weiser. I'm
Hey,
actually
Michael. Yeah.
Paul's opponent.
Okay.
And,
We've met a couple times. We
yeah,
met
right.
Up in,
And I had
up in
gone
Prescott,
to,
right? For the
in
Darnell
Prescott.
fire.
Right,
That's
right.
when
And
we-
I got to see Paul talk with Arizona Original Dreamer in Apache Junction
Okay.
last month. And I wasn't really clear on his anti-immigration stance until that meeting, and that really made me want to put more effort to helping Belin's petition. In fact, we had her be a guest speaker at the Arizona Democratic Party's Progressive Caucus at our quarterly state meeting a couple weeks ago. I grew up on the border of Texas, south of the border checkpoint, and the attitude there is quite a bit different. Anglos like myself are the minority instead of the majority.
Which city in Texas?
I grew up in Raymondville, Texas.
Okay.
It's about 50 miles north of Brownsville, which is the big city at the border.
Okay.
And I'm so frustrated to see our national policy that makes criminals out of economic refugees on the one hand. I mean, if there were places for people to come into the country through legal checkpoints, you know they wouldn't have been spending $15,000 to get lost in the desert led by coyotes to become slave labor someplace. You just know that's true. Our government's immigration policy doesn't reflect the reality of 21st century geopolitics where people are coming as they did 100 years ago in a massive immigration wave. America is built on immigrants. I'd like to see that changed at the other end of the spectrum, besides the low-wage people who end up being like, you know, somebody's underpaid gardener working in a food processing plant. There's also injustice in the registered immigrants who have to spend $20,000, $30,000 sometimes to immigrate, and then are used to undercut the wages of the American professional class. Bill Gaslow here came from Prescott with me. He had been an architect while he was working at a firm. They imported foreign architects, paying them a cut of the wage, forcing everybody's wages down and making it difficult for people who had already, you know, been professionals in America, and also these people who have been professionals in other countries being brought here as, you know, essentially, I'm going to use the term scab labor, messing with people's economic status, causing wages to lower, and then creating, you know, tension between immigrants and the people that are already here. There's so many different things that need to be changed in our immigration policy. I wasn't really convinced that the comprehensive immigration bill that's in front of us was the right answer, but we certainly need an answer of some sort. We need to change what's going on now.
Would you like to say something about that?
Not much. My name is Beto Soto. I'm the field director of Citizens for Better Arizona, and I happen to live in this district. And I just want to say that I'm here to support Belen and everybody who's here to basically bring this human message about the broken immigration system. We know that immigration reform is it's on the right side of history, and this is an opportunity for us to just move forward with this. We need to resolve this immediately, and I'm just here to support that, and we'd like to see the representative do as well, and we can move forward with this issue. And Belen can go and proceed her dreams, and everybody else can perceive that, and can just move forward. So thank you very much.
Thanks for coming, Beto.
Absolutely.
I hope that you guys are getting the message that we're trying to give. It's something that is so important and needs to be fixed due to the amount of people that are here and the amount of things that people want to do. There's people who have graduated as engineers, they've graduated as trying to be doctors and nurses, and they haven't been able to, they have a diploma in their hand and they can't do anything with it. They're working low-wage jobs, landscaping, and that is important, but they worked so hard for something and now they can't have it. They did everything right and they didn't get anything out of it. But I would like to know your guys' side on this and maybe some of your opinions.
Yeah. Well, as there is no current legislation right now before the House on it, they're still working it out. Obviously, the Senate passed that bill, but it hasn't made its way over to the House yet. You know, they're still formulating it, and Paul has got some great ideas, and is definitely listening to people. But it's hard to say where he stands on it when there is no actual legislation.
Do you know then, has he made a change of his position that he stated at the Apache Junction Town Hall?
You know, I wasn't there, so I didn't hear what he had to say. And so I would allow him to address that versus somebody else's perception of what was said in that meeting.
I'd been at the meeting,
Fair enough.
and he said he called it an illegal bill, a bad bill.
That Senate bill, right, well, there's
Senate.
funding in that bill, which as you know, all funding has to originate out of the House, it cannot start in the Senate.
Right.
Okay, so then you understand that then?
I understand that aspect of it.
Okay.
It was unclear then, I
And
guess,
so
because he
I think
went on to suggest that it was a bad bill and
Okay.
needed to be killed,
Okay.
as if it was
So
more than
would you-
just the illegality part.
Okay, and I'm certainly not here to argue on the merits
Right.
of the Senate bill, as
Yeah.
this isn't a Senate office.
Yeah.
I do know that he wants to address these issues, but feels that big, huge, comprehensive bills is not the best way to do that. That America has been burned by huge bills that nobody knows what's in it, and we have to pass this bill to find out what's in the bill. But that we should start working it through piecemeal through the different committees in the House. And that way, it allows the most amount of people to give feedback and input into that bill when they're smaller bills and contextualized, piecemeal if you will. And then as we're able to start getting some good legislation through these different committees, to then start pulling them all together and maybe then look at bringing them together into one big bill, and moving forward with that. So he really is listening to people. We're going out to Yuma this weekend. This issue obviously comes up everywhere that we go around the district. And so right now he is still working out in Washington to start putting forth legislation through the process. So thank you guys for coming in. I will certainly pass this along.
Okay, thank
And
you.
we'll relay to him that you guys were here and, you know, your guys' stories and how important it is to the families that live here in Arizona.
Okay,
To be
thank you for
together.
having us. Yeah.